Hi everyone, welcome to the Lakeview video podcast series, and I'm pleased today to be joined with John Blum, who's from Morristown, New Jersey, who's here today to talk about Blum and Associates. You're a licensed therapist specializing in substance abuse, correct?
Correct. Licensed clinical alcohol and drug counselor and a licensed professional counselor, both out of New Jersey.
Out of New Jersey. So how did you get into the field of addiction treatment?
Kind of a convoluted way. I have a double master's. One is in education, and I was a high school teacher at a private school for a while.
Huh, interesting.
And then decided I wanted to do something more with adults, and went back to grad school and got a master's in counseling psychology and human services with an addictions focus.
Okay.
And that kind of spent me, I don't know, I spiraled in that direction and ended up working in South Jersey with different kinds of agencies and things like that.
Why addiction? When you go into counseling, why did you pick addiction?
Yeah, good question. I'm an Army brat, so my dad was a combat Korea and Vietnam veteran. And back in those days, if you signed up in the services, you almost had to sign up, I will drink heavily and smoke heavily too. So I grew up in that kind of environment. Perhaps you've heard of adult children of alcoholics, ACLAs, correct? I learned a lot while I was a high school teacher as I started to look back on my past and started to connect some dots as to what I brought to the table there. So that was a big impetus for me to go back and try to give back from that experience. And veterans are a big part of my life, a big passion I have for trying to help them get through their substance issues too.
They come back with so much PTSD.
Yeah, it's horrific.
It is. So that's an area of specialty for you
Yes,
then?
it is.
Okay. So what kind of modalities do you use for these soldiers when they're coming back from overseas?
It all depends in what shape they're in. It's really hard to break through a lot of the tough guy persona with soldiers, and even the women soldiers. A lot of it is trying to understand their particular traumas, and if it's so overwhelming, then I have to refer out. But mostly, it's a lot about relationships, trust issues. A lot of CBT stuff I work with, especially if they're substance abusers. I try to hook them up with self-help groups, typically 12-step groups. I think 12-step stuff is the best thing since sliced bread, in my personal opinion. But there's a lot of medical stuff too, a lot of psychiatry that gets involved. My niche with both my licenses is typically where people self-medicate.
Right.
I try to get them sobered up enough to hook them up with an ASAM certified psychiatrist to see if we can stabilize them, getting them on medication if they're willing to do that.
Do you do any work with Peter Levine stuff with somatic experiencing?
Some of it I do.
That's great.
I mean, trauma involved therapies have been around for a long time. They just changed the names.
That's true.
But yeah, way back in the day, I've been in private practice almost 16 years now.
Okay, good.
I was using trauma work way back then.
Well, it sounds like you've got a great practice, and for those folks that are watching today and wanted to learn more about the services that you offered, how could they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me in two ways, actually. One is my direct phone, 856-304-2469, or my website, which is www.johnjblum.com, and they can pass emails to me through that, john@johnjblum.com. So.
Thank you, John, so much for taking the time to visit us in Jacksonville. We appreciate it. For those of you that are interested in learning more about Lakeview Health, we invite you to visit us at lakeviewhealth.com, or if you know someone that needs treatment right away, please give us a call at 866-887-0142.